wrap up this draft. I didn't like it. I said it was the worst draft that they've had since John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan got here. Now, I like Drake Jackson. I think he's going to end up being really good. But I basically feel it's a one-player draft. And I feel like every other pick until like round 6 was a reach. That's how I felt. I know other people are really excited about Danny Gray and stuff. I don't know. Big picture, do you feel like the Niners have regressed in drafting?
I do. And I actually have some reasons why. Okay, so I went back and I looked at all their drafts. First of all, the 49ers were able to come out with a first-team all-pro player in each of their first 3 drafts, including 2 in 2019. So every single draft from 17, 18, and 19, they were able to pull a first-team all-pro player outside of the first round. Mm-hmm. And they were able to pull one in addition to in 2019 in Bosa, who was a first-round pick. The last 2 drafts, Grant, they've had 17 total picks. You realize that 13 of those picks have been either quarterback, running back, cornerback, or offensive line that is not a center. Wow. 13 of 17.
Wow.
So to me, I know that a lot of people say, wait, you go best player available, all those things. And that would make sense until you go running back in round 3 2 years in a row and trade up to do so in 1 year. And you didn't even get a center in either draft. You've been playing musical chairs at center for many, many years now. Really, the whole time Shanahan's been here. So I just looking at it and looking at the players that have been taken since 2019. So 2020, 2021, and then this draft, outside of maybe Trey Lance, I don't know if any of those guys have first-team All-Pro written on them anywhere. So just based off of that, I would have to say they are regressing when it comes to drafting.
I don't understand like what the fuck they're doing this year. I'm sorry. Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. This was the year to chill at 61 and take BPA. Really? I mean, they did that and they got the best player available at 61. But like, you were just in the NFC Championship. You have 9 picks. You have no first round pick. Isn't this a great year to trade up? Isn't it a great year to trade up for something you need? You didn't need an edge rusher. Like, no offense, Drake Jackson, great player. He's going to be really good. But like, you had ranked 5th in sacks last year. You ranked 5th in sacks. You just stayed at 61, took the best player available. He's a good player. You're going to get the most out of him. Great. But like, what about trading up for Cam Jurgens or a wide receiver like Sky Moore or George Pickens? Or why just chill? Why sit back and be passive this year? You were two plays away from the Niners are acting like, yeah, we were also a couple of plays away from not making the playoffs. So let's not overreact.
Yeah, well, which is also true, but you're right. And I understand going best player available. I really liked the Jackson pick. I loved it. I mean, when we were doing the live show, we were over the moon with that pick. But again, it seems weird when you follow that up with running back, which again, not best player available because that running back was, 5th round talent on a lot of big boards. A lot of other teams had him much lower. And you messed up because you had the safeties sitting there and 2 safeties, prime safeties that we've been talking about all offseason, go in the next 4 picks.
Ross Joseph.
Kirby Joseph. Yep.
What happened? So to me, like, what I guess the Niners could say is like off the record or between us is like, we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to have to take a running back and a wide receiver back-to-back in round 3, but Debo happened. I guess. Because like they're talking about, we were confident we could work it out and yada, yada, yada. They haven't worked it out yet. They haven't signed him yet.
They haven't, no.
And they have to be prepared for the worst case scenario, right? So that's their preparation. A running back and a wide receiver and back-to-back picks in round 3. I'm sure if they could have like worked it out with Debo, if Debo had never demanded a trade, they probably wouldn't have gone. They probably wouldn't have taken those picks. Because honestly, they both felt like reaches to me. I'm sorry. Am I wrong? They both felt like about 20 to 30 picks too soon.
Yeah, I don't, the gray one is interesting to me. And the only reason I say that is because you saw another wide receiver that we thought would be in that same area and Tyquan Thornton go way, way early. I think the Pats took him like a round and a half earlier.
The Patriots have no idea what they're doing.
They're so lost. They are so lost. If that wasn't Bill Belichick's draft, they would have that would have been the end of it.
I'm
The absolute
I'm
end.
always into what the Steelers do. To me, the Steelers are like the best drafting team, at least at certain
Yep.
positions. And at wide receiver, they get it. They've taken a wide receiver or a tight end 6 years in a row in round 2. And like
And they
almost every
hit
time
on
they've
every one of them
except for
almost.
James Washington, they've hit on every single one. And this year they took George Pickens. I mean, I get it. He's 6'3". He was a impact player as a freaking freshman in the SEC. Yep. He's probably, and he's had injury. He tore his ACL. He tore his ACL, but he came back last year, was good, and ran a 4.47 in the combine. The Steelers really freaking get it. Meanwhile, the Niners took a guy who no one freaking heard of before he ran a 4.43. I mean, 4.33. I'm sorry. You know what? The expectations for Danny Gray shouldn't be that high. It was the 105th pick in the draft. That's pretty late. No,
It
I
is.
mean, George Pickens was 53 or whatever.
Right.
So if Gray could be like a number 3 receiver and like someone who like catches 3-4 passes a game, great, I guess. But
the thing with me is I mock Danny Gray to the 49ers quite a bit, usually in round 4. But I mean the end of round 3 where it was literally the last pick of round 3. It's basically round 4. I didn't have an issue with it as much. It was the running back one for me, which again, I understand you're trying to appease Debo, right? You want to take some of that away from Debo. That's understandable, but you don't have to do it right
in
there
round
in round
3 with that guy.
Ty Chandler went late, and this was a guy that almost everybody that watched liked Tyson Chandler. Everybody liked Ty Chandler. He went super late in this draft. There was so many guys that went late.
The Niners signed a guy as an undrafted free agent. That guy's gonna be a stud every time they sign a guy as an undrafted free agent. He's a stud. So I mean, I don't get it. Like I don't get it.
Well, the other thing too is
the guy that got an undrafted free agent is a goal line back from Georgia Tech. That's what dude is from LSU. He's a goal line short yardage back who ran a 4.48 because he dropped like 30 pounds.
And that's exactly it, right? Like the 49ers multiple times have either traded up or fallen in love with the running back. Shanahan's fallen in love with the running back. Sure. Every time he has, it's been a mess up. But when they get an undrafted guy or a late round guy, it's always successful. So to me, I can't trust it. I can't.
Crazy, man. Yeah, I think that Ty Davis price pick was terrible. They just should have taken one of the safeties. Wow. And I understand why they feel like they do different. Back, like, well, dude, you could. I'm guaranteed. I don't even know that Georgia Tech undrafted free agent is going to end up better than Ty Davis price. It was like, if you could bet on that in Vegas, oh my God, that would be such a bet.
What does he do different though, Grant? That's the question. Because they wanted something dynamic, or you would think if you. Okay, Danny Gray, great example, right? He's very different than all the receivers they have. Understand it. But when you go with Ty Davis Price, what does he do different than Sermon and Mitchell? Enlighten me.
Nothing. He does the same thing at a slightly bigger size. He just have more of the same. And so that means like Debo, you wanted to not play running back, you still got to do it. They need you because you're the only home run hitter out of the backfield. It ain't Ty Davis. His longest run in college was 40 yards.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I think it was against Alabama too, actually.
Yep. I'm sorry. Like that's just he's a guy who like, get 10 and then maybe knock someone over to get 12 or 13 yards. That's great. That's really terrific. But that's exactly what Jeff Wilson Jr. is, right?
Yep.
That's exactly what Elijah Mitchell is. The dude who gets 7 yards and then maybe a couple extra. Great. Where's the home run hitter? Where is Raheem Mostert? Because until you get that guy, Debo Samuel has to keep playing running back. Has to.
Have they already fallen out of love with Sermon?
Yes. The question is, have the Niners regressed in drafting? No. They're just not that good at it. Like, they got Debo. I don't know how they got Debo because Kyle coached him for a week at the Senior Bowl. That was the best he could. Otherwise, Kyle just spends like 2 or 3 months watching tape. And he is just like freaking lazy about it. Like he falls in love with dudes who have 2 or 3 good games. Trey Sermon, Joe Williams. Come on, dog. You traded up for both of them. And it's like, and he even says like, I hate watching this tape. I hate scouting. Yeah, man. You like, don't do it. You should delegate that.
Didn't they draft Ballmer pretty early too?
He falls for straight up late bloomers that have done very little. I'm saying.
Didn't they draft Ballmer pretty early too? Wasn't he a running back that they drafted? Wasn't there another running? There was what the hell was his name? Traded for. I think they traded a pick for him. Something Balmer or something. It was another
Oh,
running
yeah.
back. Oh, Capri Bibbs. That's what it
Capri
was. Capri
Bibbs.
Bibbs. Yes. So Bibbs, Williams, and now Trey Sermon. And you're supposed to make me believe that this guy's gonna be different. I don't get
I'm
it.
just like, okay, Kyle, have they regressed in drafting? Like Ty Davis Price is a Kyle Shanahan draft crush. Why, Kyle? I love to know. What is it about Ty Davis Price? Did I lose you? So he's
No.
like, man, he did nothing until this year. All right. How much do you really know about Ty Davis Price? He was nothing as a freshman, nothing as a sophomore, had a pretty good year as a junior. Like, how much do you even know about it, man? You're the same guy who loved Dante Pettis. How much did you know about Dante? I just don't think it. Look, it's just like for a coach to think he can be a GM and a scout is a slap in the face to the whole profession. Guys who are like really good at it, like the dude in Pittsburgh who's about to go in the Hall of Fame and retire, they do this all the time. They're drafting people that they've been scouting for years. Kyle just like turns on the tape in February, like, okay, who's the top guys this year? I'll look at 5 or 6. Like the dude in Pittsburgh has been looking at this dude for years. I saw you as a freshman, saw you as a rookie, as a sophomore. It's a whole different thing. And I feel like that's how the Niners get in trouble. Like Ayuk, dude, was no one until his second year at Arizona State. I'm sorry, like Debo was the exception, but Danny Gray, late bloomer, 23. Ty Davis Price, late bloomer. Joe Williams, late bloomer. I don't know, man.
Ty Davis Price the first half of the year wasn't even that good from what I understand.
He had a few good games, dude. And I know he has whatever. I don't know. I feel like good teams wouldn't do that. It's such a Kyle pick. It's such a Kyle pick. And Kyle can always justify like, well, I can salvage this because my scheme is so great. Now I'm going to put him in positions to be successful, man. Like, yeah, like that's what you said about Pettis. That's what you said about Joe Williams, man. Like at a certain point, like maybe you should just delegate scouting because you don't put in the work. You don't. It's a lot of work, Kyle.
Here's how you know it wasn't a good draft, Grant. Here's how you know that it wasn't the best draft is when everybody does their grades, but they have to throw in the undrafted free agents to make it look better.
That's what I'm saying. A+ undrafted free. Honestly, if you take out the undrafted free agents, man, C+ at best.
I like the Womack pick. I do like that. I like my late round nickel corners. If you can't tell,
Davis and Tariq Castro Fields, but like from the running back, Danny Gray, man, Danny Gray, dude. Real quick, we got to move on to other stuff, but Danny Gray, I get that he's fast, great. So was Ted Ginn Jr. I get that he's good on gadget plays and screens. Dude, he catches the ball with his chest. How is that a good fit with Trey Lance? How can you really use like Danny Gray on like digs and slants? And if not, it's the 105th pick. I understand. Like it's not like a first round pick, but like I would think if you have Trey Lance, you might want someone with some mitts. I'm just saying. I don't know.
It's the Vernon Davis special. He catches it like this.
He does every time. The dude can run, but I just feel like that's gonna be an adventure. It's gonna be an adventure. That's all I'm gonna say. But again, maybe at 105, they're like, we're not gonna use him that way. That's what Ayuk's for. That's what Jennings for. That's what Debo's for. Okay, fine. Because he was like the 16th pick, the 16th wide receiver drafted,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I mocked him many times at the 49ers. I don't hate Danny Gray. I don't hate him as much as you do.
But who I prefer, they could have got him around later. Calvin Austin III.
Mm,
you know who drafted him? Pittsburgh.
Of course they did.
Pittsburgh.
Did they really take him
this year? Ray, who came from Pittsburgh. They're very good. They're terrific. Just want to say. All right, let's move on.
They are.
15 minutes. Let's revisit. Hold on. Raymond Martinez Jr. has something to say. The count of that is the draft not deep in first round talent. I was saying move up into round 2, not round. I was saying move up 10 picks. That's what I was saying.
Well, I actually predicted that they would move up in round 3 with either 93 or 105. They would package that with a later couple picks and move up is what I thought, but that didn't happen.
I mean, if I were to tell you that a team lost in the championship round in the NFC, they had 9 picks, but no first round pick. Is that a team that's going to stand pat, trade down, or trade up? You'd probably say that's a team that's ripe to trade up. No,
Yeah, of course.
they didn't do it. I don't get it. Robert Whitaker says, which rookies do you think have the best chance to be starters next season? What about center? D West. Maybe
Oh,
him.
there
I
you
would
go.
think Ty Davis Price is the only. I mean, I don't think Drake Jackson's going to start, dude. He could be the third down rusher. I just don't think he's going to play against a run like that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, the thing about him that's interesting is they asked him to lose a bunch of weight after his freshman year, and that just didn't fit his style. Now he's up to like 279 already, which is back to closer to what he was his freshman year. They had him playing around 250 the last couple
Yeah.
years, so maybe. I know like one of the scouting reports is he doesn't play with a lot of strength. Well, when you're down 25 pounds based off of what you should be playing at, I understand why. So I
I
don't
just
know.
think they're going to use him like they used D Ford. Like he's going to be a factor, but I don't think he's going to
Early.
start. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
early.
don't
I
think he's going
agree.
to start, especially because Samson Ebicon's so good against the run. He's really good against the run.
I think Samuel Womack really has a chance to start. It depends on what they're going
Okay.
to do with E-Man. If they're going to play him at nickel, then none of these guys have a chance.
What about
But
Demo?
I do love me some Demo.
Just
But
writing off. What about Darqueze?
listen, Tarquez Denard has zero chance of
What
starting.
about Dante Johnson?
Safety. No, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. All right.
Yeah, I like Womack. I really do.
Okay.
I mean, you're
All right.
talking about a guy that's 5'9", about a buck 85, ran a 4.334. Like that, he fits the athletic profile. Had 17 pass breakups, led the MAC in pass breakups 3 straight seasons. I mean, he's a decent little player now in round 5.
All right. All right. Okay. I still think if Tyvis Davis Price, Tyronius, what's his name? Tyrion Davis Price.
Ty.
Tyrion Davis Price. He better start. Better.
Oh yeah. Oh
Otherwise,
yeah.
why would you take that dude?
By the way,
Why-
I'm keeping tabs on every running back taken after him too. He
Like,
better
you
be
better
as
freaking
good or
start
better
and
than
go
all
for
of
like
them.
1,200 yards. Was this year more confusing or last year? Last year was the most confusing year ever. You traded for Trey Lance and didn't play him. I'll never understand that. Imagine how much more confident you would feel about the Niners right now if Trey Lance had started 10 games last year. Imagine where we'd be right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Niners BPA is not fans media BPA.
Their BPA is also not the other team's BPA.
No, everyone agrees that Drake Jackson was BPA at 61. That was definitely
Yes.
BPA for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
You can't tell me that Ty Davis Price was the best player on any of the other 31 teams.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And again, you needed a safety, and 2 safeties were taken in the next 4 picks.
That's
guys
right.
that we talked about many, many times being great fits
right.
for the
Nick
49ers.
Cross. If you wanted the strong safety, Nick Cross. If you wanted a free safety, Kirby Joseph. Just pick either one.
Yeah.
And they were like, running back. Okay, well, you better be dope. Nick says there was a run on running backs between end of 3rd and 4th. No guarantee TDP will be available. Chris Sims had top 5 running back. Who cares? It doesn't freaking matter because the undrafted running back that they signed is going to end up being way better than Ty Davis Price. That's how it always goes. Are you kidding me? You know that it's going to happen. Who cares? I don't even know dude's name. What's his name? Hold on. Let me get his name. 49ers.com.
That's just it though. To me, who cares if he wasn't going to be there? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't think he's that great of a player.
Man,
he's cool. He's cool, but he's not different than what they already have, I guess is what I'm saying.
Can we get that guy's name from Georgia Tech? I want his name because he's definitely going to be better than Ty Davis Price. I don't even know his name. I've never watched a single highlight. I need to know his name. Nick, I got you. Robert says, which rookies do you think have the best chance to hold on? We got you already, Robert. I'm tripping.
I don't know. I type in 49ers and Georgia Tech. You know who comes up is DeAndre Smelter.
Ken Martin says Sauce says guarding Calvin Austin was a reality check. I'm telling you, man, anytime you want to know like which wide receivers should have been drafted higher, it's the ones the Steelers take every time. Every time. They got Calvin Austin at the end of round 4. Damn. Wow.
You know who else they didn't take? You know who else they didn't take that I loved? Marcus Jones. Go watch that film of him versus the Danny Gray. Put shackles on him. Absolutely locked this kid up.
I watched Danny Gray. He can really run, dude. He's super fast. I just want to know, can he do more than like screens and go routes?
Marcus Jones put him in a jail basically all game.